Hey everyone, before the story begins, I just want to give a big thank you to Jamie Grove. He's a special effects movie makeup artist who's worked on amazing movie projects. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I just want to say thank you so much for making the Rob Zombie Halloween Michael Myers Destroyer mask. This is the mask you're about to see in the following story I'm about to tell. So thank you so much, Jamie Grove, for the love, the dedication, and just the amazing detail you put into the mask. I mean, man, if you guys could only feel it, seriously. It's exactly the same shape and size and the head sculpt of Tyler Mane, the actor who played Rob Zombie's Halloween, Michael Myers. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Seriously, thank you so much, Jamie Grove. And most importantly, thank you, the audience, if you sit through this whole video and, listen to me tell a story. Thank you. Enjoy. September 1st, 2007. It's a Saturday afternoon, and it's the opening weekend to Rob Zombie's Halloween reboot.
Michael?
Behind these eyes, one finds only darkness.
Rob Zombie, Halloween.
Now the whole month of August, that's all my younger brother Carlos and me were thinking about. I mean, we both grew up watching and loving every single Halloween film in the franchise. Yes, every single one. So when Rob Zombie was dropping hit after hit, we were so excited to watch his take on Michael Myers. So we called up our close friend Luis Campos, who was fresh from living in Mexico and still adapting to this country, to come and join us. The three of us walked to the bus station, where we hopped on the bus that took us straight to the AMC Ontario Mills Theater. When we arrived there, we were so shocked to see the long lines of people outside of the theater trying to purchase tickets to Halloween. Plus, all over the ticket booths, they had signs that read, "Must be 17 years and over to purchase tickets. We will ID you." I mean, at the time, we weren't even close to being 17 years old. We didn't have a single string of facial hair on us, and my little brother Carlos was only 11 years old. And I still don't understand why I can't grow a beard to this day. So after getting shot down by multiple couples in line by asking them if they can buy our tickets to Halloween, we just bought tickets to Balls of Fury, a PG-13 movie, and snuck into Halloween. The auditorium was a full house. It was crowded. I mean, it was super packed. We barely found 3 seats in the middle top row. As soon as we sat down, the lights in the room slowly went dark, and the movie trailers began. And now we're 40 minutes in, we're at the climax of the film, where Michael Myers is trying to kill Laurie Strode. The iconic Shape Stocks theme is playing in the background of the film. It's a pretty intense moment. Everyone is hooked on the screen. I take my eyes off the screen for a moment because I notice a person in the front row slowly stands up. Now, his back is facing towards the audience and his hair is a little weird looking, but he's just standing there looking at the screen for a couple of seconds. So I'm just like, okay, is he gonna go to the bathroom? Is he gonna go get a refill on popcorn? He's kind of in the way of the screen here. Suddenly, he slowly turns towards the audience, revealing who he is. It's Michael Myers. It's literally Michael Myers. This person has the exact Rob Zombie Michael Myers Destroyer mask on, with the jumpsuit and a knife in his hand. Now, I sit up like Kermit the Frog and look around to see if anyone else is noticing this. I look at Michael again, and he's slowly walking up the stair rail. That's when the whole audience notices him. The whole room starts to panic. I mean panic. They're screaming, shouting. People are throwing their popcorn and sodas on the ground and running out of their seats. My little brother Carlos notices him as well, and he starts to panic. So I guard him with my back, but I do not take my eyes off of Michael. I tell my brother, "Okay, Carlos, on the count of 3, we're gonna run out of here together and we're gonna get help, okay?" Carlos? He's not there. He's running down the stairs, crying, jumping over people, being the first one out of the room, leaving me and Campos to die here. I'm just like, you traitor. We watched all the movies together. I then turn to Michael, who is now 2 rows away from approaching me. So I start running out of my row, but I notice that my legs are moving, but my body hasn't moved a single inch. I'm like, what? I haven't gone anywhere. I start feeling a hot tingle pinch on the side of my waist. I'm like, ow, 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 what is that? I turn to see what's causing this, and it's a woman, a couple of seats down from my brother's seat. She's just holding on to me with her long, sharp nails. This woman looked a lot like Octavia Spencer. She was just crying and crying out of fear, holding on to me with those long, sharp nails. She was like, please, sugar, don't leave me. Save me, baby. I'm just like, ow, 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 okay, 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 give me your hand, give me your hand. But as soon as she takes my hand, she launches from her chair, tramples right through me like a bulldozer, leaving me flat on the ground like a tortilla. She runs out of the room without saying a thank you or goodbye. I get myself up, I dust myself off, I start running out of my row again, but halfway down the stairs I stop because I realize something. I left Luis behind. I'm a horrible friend. Campos is gonna die if I don't save him. So I turn back only to see that this whole time, Luis Campos has been in his chair watching the movie. He never realized a single thing that's been happening in the room. He thought all the screaming, all the panicking, all the shouting from the audience was just because they were really terrified of the movie. He was just so hooked onto it, watching the movie like, no manches, esta película está perrona. So I start calling out to him from the stairwell. I'm like, Luis, Luis, Luis. After a few calls, he finally hears me. He looks at me, scans the room, looks at Michael, and it finally clicks on him. Now, I don't know if it was out of instinct or fear, or maybe he had Mexican superpowers that he never told me about. But when Campos looks at Michael, Mike was literally 4 feet away from grabbing him. So when he looks at Michael, he jumps. He belly flops like a frog, like a Mexican frog, 4 rows over. He lands on his head on the concrete, gets right back up like nothing happens, grabs me by the collar, and we run out of the auditorium. He's like, ándale, vámonos, vámonos, güey, vámonos. After being the last ones out of the room, the AMC managers and the Ontario Mills Police Department storm into the auditorium, arresting Michael Myers. They put him in handcuffs and take him out to the lobby to unmask him. Turns out the man behind the mask was just a goth dude in his late 20s. He looked like a bootleg Marilyn Manson, but with less makeup on, and well, that guy still had his ribs attached to him. Turns out him and his buddies already watched the movie on the Friday opening night, and they were like, yo, let's come back tomorrow on a Saturday when it's more crowded. I know the perfect scene to scare them. And they're like, yeah, yeah. Well, congrats. It worked. They pulled it off. The Ontario Mills Police Department escorted him and his buddies in handcuffs out of the theater, straight to their squad car. Don't know what happened to them afterwards. Since my little brother was the first one out of the room, the AMC managers and the Ontario Mills Police Department wanted to hear my brother's story. But he couldn't speak. He was just so scared that he kept fumbling and stumbling on his words. The police department was like, okay, kid, tell us how it went down. And my brother would be like, well, you did. The AMC managers and the police department would just turn to me and Campos, and they say, yeah, your brother's gonna need a lot of therapy after this. AMC Theaters decided to give everyone in that room their money back, plus tickets to come back and watch another movie of their choice. Since we snuck in, we didn't have our tickets with us, so we didn't get nothing in return. And since we were all underage, well, the police department wouldn't let us go home until I called my dad to come and pick us up. So the ride home was pretty fun.
¡Babosos! ¡Pedazo de idiota!
Now, a lot of people hate Rob Zombie's Halloween reboot. I truly love it. It's literally Rob Zombie calling up his wife, his acting friends, and the crew he works with and saying, yo, you guys, I got my hands on the Mona Lisa of horror, and I'm gonna do it my way by adding my sugar and spices, and guess what? I'm putting you all in this movie. Every filmmaker's dream, to put their family friends in a movie. Whenever I tell horror fans that I like Rob Zombie's Halloween reboot, their reaction usually goes something like this.
Smack on the shoulder. You adjust the microphone as you told, man.
I'm like, calm down. You're acting like I'm admitting that I like pineapple on my pizza. I'm not that psychotic. Heck, I like the movie so much that I even have my Fangoria magazine signed by half of the cast of the film. Plus, I also have my NECA Rob Zombie Halloween figure, signed by the man himself, Tyler Mane. Well, if you sat throughout this whole story, I just want to say thank you so much for lending me your time. And if you're going through something, or you know someone who is, I just want you to know this. Psalm 147 verse 3. He heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wound. That is a promise guaranteed, double stamping, no erasing, that he will take care of you and everything. Thank you so much.